Right. The reason I'm in Italy is I'm doing a project with Absolut where we're doing these two giant murals, one in Rome and one in Milan. And the one in Rome is of Guernica. It's like a rendition of Guernica, except you can actually see through it, so you can kind of see their skeletons, and their skeletons are all funny because the eyes are on the same side of the head. And then here in Milano, I did the big double velvet Elvis onto the side of this building. We mixed wheat pasting with spray painting here in Milano, and in Rome, we printed, first we collaged and then painted on top. So it's a mixture of collage and painting. Well, billboards seem like a very logical place to put your art. You know, your art's pretty worthless if nobody sees it, and nobody's going to know if you're a good artist or a bad artist or give you any kind of attention if they don't see your art. So to me, it just seemed like the most expedient way to put my art in front of people is just to climb on the billboards and put it up there where everybody can see it. But at the same time, I don't actually damage the billboards, because what the billboards are is they're posters. And every month or every 2 months, they just put a poster over the last poster. So if I put a poster up, then when they put up the next poster, it's like there was really no damage to the billboard. You make a parody of something, or if you make fun of something, somehow people assume that you just hate everything. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's kind of a weird thing to do, and I never wanted to be the negative guy. You know, like once when they were showing this movie they made about me, The Art and Crimes of Ron English, and so people were asking questions afterwards, and then one guy says, what do you like? You seem to hate everything, you know? And I thought, yeah, that's terrible. Maybe I should be for some things too, you know, instead of just against everything, you know? I think generally people like my art. The billboard companies who I put my stuff on their stuff, they know me, they know how to find me. One of them actually said to one of my friends, it's like, you know, if we catch him in the act, we'll put him in jail, but in the meantime, he has people looking at billboards, and that becomes kind of an issue with if you're a billboard company, is because, like, you probably came here today and passed 30 billboards, and I bet you couldn't name one of them. You couldn't remember one of them because you don't look at them. You learn not to look at them. And a lot of people said, you know, we drive around sometimes looking for your billboards. Well, they don't find my billboards. They find, you know, the advertisements. So I think that's the way the companies look at me, is that I get people interested in looking at billboards, and their product is billboards. So I keep people looking at the eyeballs focused on the billboards. So I don't think they have a huge animosity towards me. And most of the public, you know, even if, you know, maybe some of the things I talk about, they don't agree with me, but I think for the most part, because my art's humorous, I think people appreciate it. And the cops too, they know me, you know, they say, hey, Ron English on the street, you know. But, you know, again, you know, some of them come like when I sign autographs, and they're like, you know, unless they tell me to arrest you, I'm just going to look the other way, because I think it's funny and I like it. You know, it's part of New York, you know.
Yeah, you don't stop. It goes out to the crew up top.
Yeah, I think most artists they almost make their art for other artists, because I think artists understand art better than anybody else. And you know, right now is a great time because, like, there's these two different movements that are getting really, really huge, and one is street art and one is Pop Surrealism. And I kind of was part of both of those movements from the inceptions. And you know, I think I'm completely inspired by the artist. I think I work very, very hard just to try to keep up with everybody else, because I want to be a part of the club, you know. But like on the street art side, I really like Shepard Fairey a lot. I like Banksy a lot. I think he's been the funniest guy to ever do graffiti. And on the Pop Surrealism side, I like Mark Ryden and, you know, Mark Dean Becca, people like that, Laurie Early. Yeah, I mean, there's people. This is, I think later people are going to look back on this time as a renaissance, you know. But sometimes when you're right in the middle of something and it's all happening so fast, you don't realize what it really is, you know. Well, like Maryland, originally, the first painting I made like that, we were having a party in Austin at my house, and I was taking all the people from the house and putting them like, so like this one woman, I drew her, and then I put the breast of one of the other guys, like his faces. And actually that idea actually came from, because when I was young and I had a little girlfriend, and I was in high school, but I was like so shy, and I would just stare at the ground when people talked to me, and I was standing there, I was so mortified talking to her, and I was staring at her shoes, And then when she walked away, this other girl comes over and goes, "Well, I hope you had a nice conversation with her breast." You know, then I was totally mortified because I wasn't even looking at her breast. I was looking at but then I always, after that, like I had that image of like the breast that could talk to you, you know? So if somebody starts staring at your breast, they could start talking back. But eventually, I made it Marilyn and Mickey because that's like the super pop image, you know, the mother of pop, kind of.
We like to tear it down.
Right now we have a really big show in the fall, so I'm making really big paintings, and maybe not as big as the Elvis, but big. And you know, like a bunch of sculptures, like of the Mouse Mask Murphy and the little boy Hulk and stuff. So that's what I'm working on now.
Tear it down. We got that beat, got that house, got that funky.
This is my son. He doesn't really have 3 eyes. He has 4. But I made for years and years lots and lots of paintings of my children. So that was a lot of fun. Actually, I don't have any memory of not being an artist or not being interested in art. So, you know, I think you're just kind of born an artist.
We like to tear it down. We like to tear it down.